What's up? I'm back. Let's talk to my girl. Bianca, where you at? Awesome. So I have it set so that guests can request to join in. So as soon as I see that she's on here, I'm gonna get started with this live video talking about laughter yoga and the benefits to laughter yoga, particularly in regards to well-being. So as we wait for her to jump on, we can hang out together. So if you're watching the replay, just please be patient. There she is. Hey girl. So I have it set so you can request to join. So if you don't mind requesting to join, that would be great. There you are. I'm going to bring you on camera.
Going on.
There you
Hello.
are.
Hey.
Hi. Let me turn up my volume. Oh, okay. That's good. Well, I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great.
Everybody's jumping back on now that I'm actually sorted this thing out. I wanted to use my computer because like way better audio when I plug in my mic, but that's okay. Like this is what's meant to happen.
Yeah, I saw you with your mic. I was like, oh, very profesh interview going here.
Yeah, girl, you know it. So currently I have you set up on like my water bottle, which is funny how we do these things. But anyways, everybody jumping on. Say what's up to my girl. She is expert empowerment coach, and she has been not even diving into, really leading in the world with laughter yoga. And I wanted to bring her on with you guys to really talk about this and explore the benefits of it, particularly in regards to well-being, but even beyond that. I feel like I'm very dark, but even beyond that, just in life and the way that you show up and serve your clients, if you're a coach, the way that you are interacting with people in your life, the way that you feel about yourself, the way you feel during life. So there's going to be lots of cool different things that we talk about. I really wanted to touch on it more in like the health and wellness space because she's an expert at this. Like I said, this is what she's been doing, what she's been up to. She studies it. So let's say hello. And
Hey, thank you.
Yeah, of course. Tell us a
No,
little
it's
bit.
like you need to shed some light on your face there. Yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
thinking the same thing. So talk to me. Tell us a little bit about like what is laughter yoga and how did you even really get into it?
Great question. A lot of people are like, do I need to wear my tights? So laughter yoga is basically compiled of four things. So there's laughing. So laughter exercises where we choose to allow laughter. So it's not about forcing or faking laughter. It's really about just choosing laughter and allowing it to flow for the sake of the benefits. The same way you would put your shoes on and go for a run. It's not necessarily that you enjoy running. A lot of people actually hate running, but they know that that's going to get their blood pumping, that that's going to get the endorphins flowing through their body, that it's going to get them the results that they're looking for as far as their fitness and their health and all that kind of thing. Laughter can be used as an exercise. So there's laughing, there's clapping, there's chanting, and there's breathing. So it's called laughter yoga for the simple fact that we use the same kind of breathing. So using the diaphragm for the really deep belly breathing, and also using the diaphragm while we laugh, because that's where we get a lot of the benefits from, is really that deep breathing, getting all that stagnant air out of the body. There are a lot of endorphins released. There's dopamine, there's serotonin, there's tons and tons of amazing things running through your body as you're laughing. And the coolest thing is that stress hormones such as cortisol cannot coexist. So it's like you can't actually be stressed in the moment that you're laughing. And that's why some people have like a nervous laugh or or they'll laugh in a stupid moment where it's so not funny, but they'll just start laughing because their body's trying to kind of process what's going on.
Wow. Okay. I want to touch on that real
You're
quick.
like, whoa.
I'm like, that's awesome. Cortisol, as many of the people watching are like, oh, I know that hormone. It's what's causing me to gain so much weight or hold on to weight or hold on to fat specifically. This is a stress hormone that is killing most people all over the world, interestingly enough. So you're saving
Mhm.
lives, right, with laughter yoga. You're getting people high. Like, there's lots of good things going on. So knowing like that that's one of the core benefits along with everything else that you mentioned. I mean, the people who are on, everyone can relate to stress, but what would you say
Mhm.
to someone who's like, laughter yoga seems kind of weird, or I don't know if I'd be able to just start laughing? Because like, I know, like, for me, like, something I do is I'll just do like a random laugh, I'll be like like, I'll just start laughing in a random way to make myself giggle, and it's really funny, and not everyone else around me enjoys it, but it's fun. So anyway,
They're like,
how you, yeah, they look at me like, excuse me, you be what you doing over there? So tell us, like, what do you normally say, or how do you normally help someone who has resistance to actually trying it at all?
well, you need to just be open to giving it a go. Everyone can laugh, and the sad thing is that we don't often have a good opportunity to have a big, deep belly laugh in our lives. We wait for jokes or we wait for comedy, and if we rely on that, it means that we're not going to be laughing very often at all. Um, so yeah, you need to be open. And the other thing is, I had someone in a session the other day say, "Oh, what if no laughter comes?" Um, the thing is, if you go in and you have the open mind and you choose to laugh, it's like choosing to walk across a room. Like your body knows what to do
Ooh,
already. If you choose to do
you're gonna
something
make me
mentally,
laugh. I don't know, just
you
hearing that made me laugh.
Yeah. And it is a little bit weird and it definitely is a bit uncomfortable for people when they first start, especially if you're in a group, especially if you're in a group where you don't know people.
Mm.
Um, for some reason in our society, it's really somewhat taboo, to be honest, in a lot of places to laugh. It's like, don't laugh, it's not appropriate, don't laugh, you need to be quiet. Whatever it is, it's kind of been squeezed out of us, like, don't laugh unless it's
Mm.
really funny, unless it's appropriate, unless it's politically correct. Like, there's so many rules around laughter where if you go into a space where you do a session, yeah, just it really is about that conscious decision to just go, okay, I'm gonna give this a go. It might be weird, it might be crazy. Um, yeah.
Can you see
Um,
any of the comments coming through on your screen?
I can't. I don't know why. I was trying to get them before.
Okay. Adam
God,
wants you to tell a joke.
I'll
Adam
tell a
wants you
joke. Well, laughter yoga is not about the use of comedy or humor. I'm actually terrible at remembering and telling jokes. So, um, maybe we can give a demonstration of like how we would
Yeah,
start
that'd
a
be great.
laughter a laughter session. So um, I guess one of the things that we most often start with is like a greeting laughter. So we could do a namaste. We can't exactly shake hands, so let's go with namaste. So I would look Celeste in the eyes. We would smile at each other, and then instead of saying namaste or hello, we would simply laugh. Cool. So we'd
It
start
makes me
out
want
with
to keep
something.
laughing.
I think so, and it does become contagious, and it's especially easy in group situations where you can hear other people laughing, especially if someone has one of those really contagious or funny kind of laughs, and you just start laughing, and they laugh more, and you laugh more, and it just kind of snowballs from there.
Yes, you are very, I mean, it's clear that you have a very basic, beyond basic understanding of laughter yoga. Like, what you know is so much deeper than I think what most of the world understands it as, or even begins to understand it as. I knew it as what I saw this woman do in a YouTube video that was like hilarious to me. But you take it so much further than that. So what I want to know now is like if someone is gonna go into a laughter yoga session, like anything, right?
Mhm.
If you go into something and you have this mindset that's gonna be awkward and uncomfortable, you're gonna have an experience like that. So when you do have someone walk in feeling like that and they feel like they can't actually have that laughter come up, or maybe they get uncomfortable, like they want to run out of the room, there's blocks, there's things, how do you address those blocks straight away? Because they obviously maybe are uncomfortable in their skin or around other people, like you said, there's a lot of societal conditioning, but how can we get to it straight away so they can get into it?
I think it's just about easing in and really just creating that space and starting with the gentle laughter. Like it's not about going and getting people, like towards the end of a laughter session, mostly I would run like a laughter meditation where it's you close your eyes, you sit down or you lie down, and we just do extended laughter and we see how long it rolls for. So it might be 5 minutes, 10 minutes, which sounds like a short amount of time, but really, like most people when they first start out can only laugh for about 20 seconds and then they're like, this is awkward. Now I want to stop. Um,
Yeah.
so obviously not going straight in with that. I think just, yeah, being okay with like gentle laughter and even something like, it doesn't have to be like, oh, like you don't have to be going crazy to get the same benefits as long as you're moving your
Yes.
diaphragm and actually because that's what's helping to massage your organs. You're doing the deep breathing, so you're getting really good aerobic exercise in through the laughter, through the breathing, all that kind of thing. Um,
Wow.
yeah, I mean, there's so many things going on. So
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is just being okay with it being awkward. And a lot of people do say that after their first session, like, yeah, it was awkward. I felt like I was being judged at the start, and then I kind of somewhere through, like partway through, kind of after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, got into it and just stopped caring. And
Mm.
laughter, part of what I use laughter for in my coaching is to help people to disengage with those kind of negative connotations or thought patterns and really rewire their mind and create a new experience around something. So I think it is, I know it is because I've done the studies, like you say, it's really, really
Right.
powerful for rewiring our unconscious mind and really teaming that with something like something that would normally stress you out, for example. And like everyone on the line can actually do it now. If you close your eyes, as long as you're not driving a car, close your eyes and just imagine something that's kind of frustrated you or annoyed you in the last week. Like just a little bit, nothing that made you totally rage, but maybe someone cut you off in traffic. Maybe your kids were being annoying. Maybe your colleague didn't do what they said they would do. Just think of that thing. And now, without laughing at anyone or about anything, just choose to laugh as you hold that in your mind. Cool. Now taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, deep into your belly, and sighing it out. You can kind of get a taste even from that, the experience that you
Yeah.
go through when you're like, why am I laughing? This is fucking weird. And then I don't know if we went long enough for everybody just there, but like eventually people will click over into like, okay, I'm letting go. I'm just gonna laugh now and I'm just gonna be okay with laughing. And
I like that.
that's
I like
where
how
the
it almost shifts
biochemical
the
changes come
paradigm.
in. Sorry?
It's like shifts the paradigm. It's
Mhm.
like instead of like being in the negative emotion that can usually so often be experienced or we tap into, it's like we are rewiring it. And
Mhm.
from like a psychological standpoint, this is very powerful. It's a big reason why people use things like anchors. It's a big reason why people use things like
Definitely.
affirmations or incantations. So essentially, you're like retraining the response, which is also really cool. But in this process, you're able to let go of the negative energy that was surrounding it. And something that I usually talk to my clients about is they'll say, like, they feel like something is still almost like stuck within them, right? It's like, okay,
Hmm.
well, we have to create a new story around it. We have to shift that story, because guess what's going to happen if you don't? It's going to stay there, and it's always going to be lingering. And until you actually address it, it's always going to be there. So it's taking up space in your life that it doesn't deserve to be taken up. Like, that can be put into
Yeah.
something so much more positive, like this. And then what you mentioned earlier too, in regards to the benefits within the body, like physiologically, as me being an expert in the physical sense, I know how
Hmm.
important that is. But wasn't completely aware that laughter had such an impact on things like the organs. I knew that with the chemicals released, with the high vibrations, with the positivity, the good energy, those things naturally will start falling in place as well. But the fact that it's so instant is really a beautiful thing. And I think that for people watching, they might go, I don't find that endorphin high from exercise. I don't find the peace and meditation, or the renewal. I don't find the release that I need from yoga. I don't, there's all these things. It's like, okay, well, everyone knows how to laugh. It's a response that the body creates. So this is a really cool opportunity for people on here who maybe are thinking, wow, like there is actually something out there for me that can help me with these things mentally, emotionally, physically, and
Hmm.
grow in a space that actually maybe it doesn't feel comfortable at first, but I can get used to it. Laughing is so much fun.
Hmm.
So why is it that you're so passionate about bringing this into the world at a whole new level? Because I know you're really leading the way in this.
I'm really passionate about it for so many reasons. Because for one, like there's a serious epidemic of seriousitis, where people are too serious in their life. They're not taking things lightly. Everything is weighing on them. Everything is heavy. Everything is hard work, and we see it in our society. All you have to do is go out in peak hour, and you can see it in people in their cars, in people catching the trains, in people who just are so weighed down with the shit they've got to do that day and provide for their families and pay their bills, and all the just day-to-day stuff really weighs on people. If we can shift that and actually take things more lightly, like one of the biggest things that I feel laughter does is really help us build a resilience to things where we just care less about the little stuff that doesn't actually matter. We don't take rejection as personally. We don't worry if people say no, or if they judge us or whatever. We're kind of like, yeah, whatever. And I've seen this time and time again with laughter. The second thing is, like you were saying before, about the the rewiring of the mind is really like, yeah, you can do journaling and you can do meditation, and they take time. And a lot of people say about meditation that it's really hard, that they can't do it, that they can't stay focused, or that kind of thing. And through laughter, you get to have heaps of fun, you get to burn some calories, you get to change your biochemistry, release the stress hormones, invite in the natural painkillers, the natural feel good chemicals, um, and the natural antidepressants. And it's easy, it's fun for me. I get a lot of my clients do feel uncomfortable when I ask them to do it, and they're like, oh, do I have to do it? I'm like, yeah. And again, it's one of those things, like getting out of the comfort zone is something that I encourage my clients to do, because I'm like, you're going to grow. Like, cool, you feel really uncomfortable doing it. Do it 3 times this week. Um, so it can just stretch and grow us in so many ways. And I find it to just be a really quick and effective and enjoyable way to create these results where we're improving our health, we're raising our vibration, which means that we're attracting what we want into our lives. We're releasing, like you said, the negative energy, the negative hormones, all that kind of thing. And we're actually just getting into a high vibe state where we're able to be clear in our minds, which after you do an entire laughter yoga session for about half an hour, you need about 15 to 20 minutes of actual laughter. Of course, we have the clapping and chanting and breathing, to really get the full benefits of it. So that's an improvement in the immune system over time when you're practicing it. It's, like I said, about your cardiovascular and aerobic health, your blood pressure. It can reduce blood pressure. It can help you lose weight if you're, I get a lot of people on my YouTube videos in weight loss programs. Um, yeah, it's just the list goes on. And it is, like you said, physical, mental, spiritual, emotional renewal, basically. And when you get to the end of a session, you actually are in a state where it's like you've been meditating correctly, or like getting to that space where there is just space in your mind. There's no thoughts running through, there's no clutter, there's no worry. You're just seriously, your mind is just open and clear, and you're like, oh. And for people like us as coaches, that's a really powerful place to be able to lead people, because it's a great place to plant seeds for positive change. So when it bypasses the critical faculty, which is basically the wall that your mind puts up, going, no new ideas, that's not part of our identity, no, that's a big scary thing. Laughter actually just goes past that, and you can actually just plant seeds for positive change, plant seeds for people to live their dreams, to create what they want in their lives, and they're in a state where they're feeling like, yes, that is possible, I can do that, because they're in that high vibe state. So it's just, I'm so passionate about it because of all these reasons, basically. It's for health, it's for the general well-being of society. Like, stress is one of the number one killers in the world. If we could even just reduce that, we'd literally, like you said, be saving lives.
Correct.
So, yeah.
Wow. I mean, you guys, everyone listening can obviously hear that this isn't woo woo. Like, sometimes people will argue about, like, a lot of these talks that seem woo woo, right? Like, oh, I can just sit in my room and laugh and like everything's gonna be hunky dory. It's like, actually, like, let's look at the facts, right? And you're laying down the facts physically. It gives people tangible evidence that this does change lives, impact lives in some way. And the fact is, like, I think that the good feeling happens like that. Personally, when I laugh, I instantly feel amazing. But you did mention something about how at the end of a session, there's like almost what sounds like an integration process. So I'd love to know a little bit more about that. Like, what is that integration process like, or what is that? Why do you need
What do you
15
mean by
minutes?
integration process?
Like, you mentioned at the end of like a session, like a laughter yoga session, in order for it to really generate the change, there has to be like
Mhm.
15 minutes of laughter. What does that mean? Like, can you take us through what that would actually
Okay.
like? Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So generally, like what we just did before, we laughed for like, I don't know, 40 seconds or something. So you start to feel in your body a little bit of a change, but for the longer lasting results, like um, improvement in your immune system and those kinds of things, you need to be doing about 15 minutes of laughter as a regular practice. So say like 5 or more days a week. Similar to if you're running, you can go for a run and you can be like, oh, that's good, I broke a sweat. But like, unless you continue it as a regular practice, you're not going to build the muscles and get the long lasting effects. Um, as far as the laughter meditation goes at the end, where we really just roll into like just straight and continuous laughter, what would you like to know specifically about that?
That actually kind of answered my question. It seems like
Okay,
it's
cool.
the length of time spent laughing. That's what generates most of the
Mhm.
result. And your explanation relating it to the muscle really actually anchored that home for me. So thank you for explaining
Mhm.
that. Now, if you were to, like, if someone were to say, I'm going to back up. A lot of times in life, we have problems and we see them and we choose to sit with them and let them
Mhm.
hang out in our life and be our reality. We complain about them and we don't change them. Here's an opportunity to create change in a way that to me sounds very fun. Now that we're talking more about it, I'm actually interested in incorporating it more into my day-to-day reality. But I think it's very easy for people, like with exercise, they'll go, I don't have time. Oh, I
Mhm.
don't have that. Oh, I have to do this. But like, what sounds really great about this same thing with exercise is like you can bring other people into it. You can take 15 minutes of your day you can make these changes, but again, people resist the action taking behind this. So, what's a good way for someone to just get started in this practice or actually incorporating it into their life?
So I would start out with maybe using like laughter videos that you can get on YouTube just to get yourself familiar with some ideas and get yourself in the practice of laughing. Like for me, sometimes I don't sit and do a full laughter session. I'll literally have my shower cap on and be getting in the shower, and I'm like, ha 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 ha, ha. And my sister and my boyfriend are like, you're a nut job. And I'll just laugh while I'm having my shower or I'm doing my, like getting dressed. That's kind of enough. Like that's about 10, 15 minutes where I'm just like, ha 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 ha. Ha. And actually, the founder of laughter yoga, Dr. Madan Kataria. I saw a video with him once, and that's what he said he does. He doesn't actually do a whole laughter session. He gets up and he just goes about his business. And he said he laughs about 2 hours a day. But again, it's not that intense laughter. It's just like, just moving his diaphragm, just making the sound, like just getting that flowing in his body. But he's actually just going about his whatever he's doing in the morning, getting stuff done, and really bringing those positive effects to his body. So it's not as easy if you haven't practiced first with the sessions to laugh for that extended period of time. Like you might get into a space where you start laughing at yourself, which most people do. They're like, oh, what the hell am I doing? And then they just burst out laughing at themselves. That's a really good way to sustain, but sometimes it does take doing a few sessions and getting in the flow with it to actually feel comfortable and okay. And I know a lot of people as well, like I have a client who used to go in her car because she used to get up at 4:30 to go to the gym and everything. So to reduce being firstly waking everyone up in her house, and secondly being judged by them, like, why are you laughing? She would actually go into her car and do her laughter like a half hour, 20-minute or half hour session in her car. So
That's
sometimes it
smart.
does mean taking it out. I had a guy comment on YouTube recently as well that he felt weird about it because of his housemates. He went out into the woods and did it there, and he was like, "Wow, it was so amazing. It was really cool because he just felt free to openly laugh
Mm.
without other people being around, which is quite common as well."
That's actually a really good point. Um, I feel like being able to openly express yourself like that in your own space, not like,
Mhm.
let's say you're not having a session with someone, even if you are, of course, this is going to be the same thing. But I mean, the power of being able to express that in your own space is similar to like the power of being able to express love to yourself. It
Mhm.
is very empowering if you are able to give yourself that time to be and to express and to have emotion. Like, you're gonna feel so good in day-to-day life expressing yourself, having
Yeah.
emotion. You're gonna have more confidence with that because you're comfortable with it yourself. So a lot of
Yeah.
people who question, like, oh, I don't know if I should say this, I don't know if I should express how I'm feeling, how do I tell this person how I feel, right? This comes up all
Yeah.
the time. It's like, wow, what you just said made me think, if someone's doing this every day on their own time and their own energy, it's no different than someone in their own time and their own energy recognizing the love they have for themselves, giving
Mhm.
themselves that love. And I'm like, this is very good. Like, this is a great thing to
Yeah.
do. And I love that people are taking initiative and going out and making sure that they have that space for themselves. Again, it's an expression of love, but in a different way. Like, now you're recognizing emotion, you're being comfortable. We have gotten so far away from being okay with emotion. One of my favorite like
Yeah.
quotes, I don't know, I've heard it thrown around, is like, emotion is energy in motion. If we set that energy in motion more often throughout the day, and it's the positive energy, like, wow, that's going to generate so much momentum in our life. So making this a
Totally.
priority is very simple. If you're like, even if you're watching this live video right now, just like, you could start giggling, right? Like, they could just start giggling, seeing how they feel. Like, anytime you scroll through social media, you could laugh. Although that actually makes me want to ask you a question now. Laughter is very positive. If you pursue this while you're in, let's say, like a negative situation, could it
Mhm.
potentially create a positive anchor to something negative?
Yeah, and I loved what you were saying before about anchors and incantations and affirmations, and you basically hit the nail on the head because what I learned when I did a program at the start of last year, which was all about the unconscious mind and how, as coaches and carers and people like in those kinds of roles, can really utilize this in their work. What they say is like neurons that fire together wire together, which means that when we do something, which you would know this is how anchors work, when we think a certain thought, for example, like if you think about someone dying, for example, you're going to feel it in your body. You're going to feel that grief or that sadness or that loss in your heart, in your gut, wherever you feel it. If you think about something really funny, you're going to feel that in your body as well. You're going to feel light. You're going to feel happy. You're going to probably start smiling. Those things fire off together. However, if we can do something similar to what we did earlier, very simple, holding something that pissed us off or annoyed us or frustrated us in our mind, and then choose to laugh, we're actually disconnecting that habit of actually feeling angry about it because we're like, hold on, I'm holding this in my mind, but now I'm actually laughing and feeling good chemicals. And what happens when you practice this, and I've got an actual challenge. Yeah, maybe anyone who's on the line, if you would love to, I'll give you free access to this 5-day challenge. And the whole session is based around that, around rewiring. So during the session, we go for a walk. So we're walking, and then several things happen, like a bird does a poo on you and you laugh about it, or like a truck goes by and it splashes water in your face, like mud all over you, and you start laughing. You step in chewing gum and you laugh about it. And then when these things happen to you in real life, when you've done that, even in this challenge, say you never did it again, you did it for the 5 days and you never did it again. The next time you stand in gum, or the next time a bird does a poo on you, or you see a puddle splashing up from traffic going past, your brain and your body are going to want to laugh. You're not even going to be in control of it because you've already programmed it in through the practice that you've done. So it's super powerful for that, and disconnecting and disengaging from things that frustrate us. Maybe it's a family member does something and it just drives you nuts. Cool. Start to practice laughing around it. And again, it's not laughing at them, it's not laughing at yourself, it's not laughing about anything. It's just choosing for the sake of rewiring and for the sake of the benefits to go, okay, that's there. I'm going to hold that image in my mind, or you can even act it out, and then I'm going to laugh. So, like stubbing your toe, getting a red light when you're running late, like whatever it is, like you can actually practice laughing around these things, and you'll then automatically in your life start to laugh about them when they come up. And you probably won't be able to stop laughing because everyone's going to be like, why are you laughing right now? And then you'll think it's even more funny. So
Wow,
it's
that's
really,
good.
really powerful for creating those new patterns. And it can also create new neural pathways, which is freaking amazing. Like I know a lady who couldn't see out of one eye. She'd had an accident. She became a laughter yoga leader. She was running, I don't know, classes once a week or whatever she was doing, and practicing it herself at home for her own benefits as well. And she rang one of our mentors one day and she was like, Merv, I'm seeing double. And he was like,
Wow.
okay, you feeling dizzy or anything? And she's like, no, I feel fine. It's just I'm seeing double. It's really weird. He said, cover one of your eyes and then cover the other one. And her eye, it had never stopped working. It was just her brain that wasn't sending the signal. So she created a new neural pathway where she could then register again what her eye was actually seeing. And of course, her eye had become a bit lazy because she wasn't actually using it properly. So she had to retrain her eye and get her vision back properly. But the fact is, like, it's really amazing the
Yes, your
benefits.
brain is plastic, so you have the power. Like that's so like that's cool. It's a great example because the brain is plastic, it's able to change, it's able to take new shape. Even in psychological standpoint, people have been like angels, right? Like angel children. And then all of a sudden they become like devil child. People are like, what happened? It's like sometimes it's not them. They didn't choose this. What happened is sometimes their brain changed shape. Something actually occurred and the brain changed shape, so it can be treated with changing the brain back into shape, basically, or adjusting it in different ways. So that's very interesting that this can create different pathways. It doesn't surprise me, but it is interesting how powerful something like this,
Mhm.
something so simple to implement, can be. This is like people ask about magic pills. Seems like this is a great way to get started. Like, sign me up, write me a prescription. This is great because if you like, the other cool thing about this that I like that you mentioned in regards to the laughter, thinking about things and then making sure like you connect laughter to it and having that adjust that, it's like it creates so much less anxiety and stress. I feel
Mhm.
as though people always want to be more bubbly, be more positive, be more happy. It's like, well, you can train your brain to do that. You can
Mhm.
actually choose that to become who you are. Like, you don't have to wait for something in your life to change. Like you said, you don't have to wait for a joke. And I think it's really important that everybody who does try this keeps in mind what you said. It's not laughing at something, it's choosing to generate that laughter because that's what's going to actually create it rather than the other. Like, you're not laughing at anybody or anything. So I really like that. That's great. And
Mhm.
powerful story about the woman who is blind. I mean, that sends it home. That's very powerful. And I'm sure you've witnessed lots of awesome transformations when it comes to that. And I'm sure that you have been, I know you just facilitated some awesome transformations for people all the way across the world. You guys, she's leading the way. And I'd love to hear, like, do you have laughter videos out there? Like, I know you mentioned your free challenge. What's a way that people can actually come and get this from you and actually experience it with you?
So one way would be to do, yeah, to message me, maybe even just write Success and Flow in the comments, and I can link you up with the Success and Flow challenge, which works with the laughter yoga as a daily practice, and also teams it up with some mindset work as well, so that you're focusing on your goals in different areas of your life for those 5 days and really driving that home. So do the laughter first, open up your mind, like I said, and then do your daily success session and do your writing about the things that you're wanting from your life, so that you're in that space of like being open and ready to receive them because you're in the highest vibration. Yeah, you can definitely look me up on YouTube. It's youtube.com/ Bianca Spears. You'll find I have a laughter folder on there where you can get access to, I don't know, 11 or 12 different laughter videos on there. Um, and it is becoming a thing. And the reason I know this is becoming a thing is through my laughter yoga videos. I'm a coach. I have coaching videos. Some of them only have like, I don't know, 50 views. And then my laughter yoga videos have 6,000, 7,000. One of them has about 32 or 33,000 views. People are coming from weight loss programs, like I said, from chakra healing programs when they get to the solar plexus chakra, from neurolimbic retraining programs. Everyone is referring towards laughter yoga because they're understanding the benefits of it. And I was recently approached by the NFL over there in the States. They were looking at doing a segment around laughter yoga because they already used yoga with the players as part of their training in some of the teams, and they were kind of suggesting that in the near future they might start using laughter yoga. And so that really opened up my eyes that if footballers and that kind of industry are looking at doing it, along with the bazillions of people that are finding it on YouTube every day for various different reasons, like the world is really screaming out for it now. And I know you and I have spoken about this offline behind closed doors, and I've been like, it's time to like get this out there. It's time to like make this more of a priority for myself because the world is reaching out for it and asking for it and really wanting more of it. So yeah, they're the main
Totally.
two places.
Awesome. And do you ever have any events or anything like that, or do you plan to in the future where people can actually experience this in person? Because I know that can be really powerful.
So I did a few workshops last year. Later this year in September, I'm actually running a retreat in Bali. So the laughter will play a role in that because it's like a secret weapon for me. It's like one of the fastest ways we can raise our vibration, clear get into a really high conscious state, clear any blocks that we've got, and really just power forward and connect with what we want in life. So that will be part of it. It's a retreat for entrepreneurs, and it's called the Abundance Alignment Retreat. So it's about basically just realigning us to our natural state, which is happy and carefree, which is creative, which is playful, which is fun, which is easygoing and easy flowing as well, where we can actually really easily, really gently, and without the hustle and the grind and the push, really attract what it is that we're wanting in our lives. So, attracting more clients, doubling our income, those are the kinds of things that we're going to be working on in the retreat and really just releasing anything that's holding us back, clearing those money mindset blocks, and really just up leveling you to the next level where you're ready to receive from that natural state of abundance that you're actually born into, yet somehow along the way you've kind of forgotten. So
Yeah.
that's going to be super cool. I'm really pumped for that one.
That's awesome. You guys, that's a really cool opportunity for those of you who are on who actually resonate with that. And of course are part of that Who's It For. And I want you guys to know, like, she's giving so much value, you know, not only just here as an offer, but also for free in YouTube and on her page. And I highly recommend you reach out to her because we've been friends for so long. I mean, it feels like so long. I guess it hasn't been so long. It depends how you define it. And I've seen her like transform so many lives. Like if you go to her page, like it's nothing but positivity. And like she said, this is a secret weapon. And like I said, this is like a prescription, like that happy pill that takes it all away. I mean, this is great. This is something that the world is opening up to. And
Mhm.
I don't see why. Like the reason why I brought her on live is because I wanted her to share this. This is like an antidote, you know, this is amazing. It's like you can literally do this anytime, any place, anywhere. It's something we have control over, and it doesn't require a high level of education. It doesn't require a certain physical stamina. It doesn't require certain things that maybe other forms and practices that can give you the same benefit do. So I highly recommend that you reach out to her and then comment, what was it, Success and Flow below.
Mhm.
She'll hook you up with a challenge. Um, and yeah, have fun with it. And make sure you guys say thank you to her for coming on and sharing it. Because like I learned so much from this, really opened my eyes and actually has inspired me to do it as well. So really looking forward to seeing all you guys succeed and start laughing a lot more. Thank you so much for joining us today. Do you have anything else you want to
Thank
add?
you. No, that's it. I can't see the comments right now, but if you guys do have any questions or anything, feel free to drop them in the comments. I'll get back to you through there. And yeah, thanks so much for having me on, Celeste. It's been amazing. Always awesome
Of
talking to
course.
you.
Yes, you too. And you got some cool comments, people waving. We had my girl Alicia, she shared this video, which is awesome. We got people giving us laughing faces when you did the actual experience. And, you know, just lots of good stuff, people waving and whatnot. So thanks again, and we will catch you guys later.
Bye, guys.